What's up, YouTube? Welcome back again to my channel. I am Fortan Zimbo. We're carrying, from Dr. Umar Johnson. Let's hear the craziness. How these house people they're gonna question Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't wanna say the N-word, but you know what? He's gonna slip up. I'm gonna say these house people what they're gonna say about Dr. Umar Johnson. Let's see what a house what are you gonna say? Let's go, Dr. Umar Johnson.
Why do I want a charter school?
So you want a private school?
Exactly. Independent school.
Lauren.
So the question of interracial marriage,
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
come on, man. You're too smart for this. We got
Well, what?
43.
I'm too smart for what?
We got 43 million black people in this country.
And
We
that
got
means
over
what?
190 million white people. You're gonna sit here and say that if
And you
a
got
black
half the
person,
black
a white person get married, a black person, white person get married, one can't understand the other person's struggle. You've seen
It's not
you've
about
seen Tim Wise, right?
individualism.
You've seen
It's
Reverend
about
Wallace. You've
systematic.
seen white people
Exactly.
who understand racism
Sys-
very well.
That doesn't
The
mean they're
other
going to do
thing,
anything
the other
about
thing
it.
that is obvious.
It's not about individual. That's what Dr. Umar Johnson is trying to make. It's not about individual. This black woman right there, she's sitting up over there. She's thinking about individual. He's not speaking about individual. It's about systematic. It's about all of us black people trying to understand where Dr. Umar Johnson is coming from before you speak against what he's speaking about. Listen, Jesus Christ, black people, you can't save them.
The truth is they understand racism when you see things like the murder of Medgar Evers, like the murder of Martin Luther King. They understand racism
And
just
what
fine.
did they do
They
about it?
understand us gaining just fine, and that's why murder happened.
Based on
right?
what?
So the
Exactly. Based
idea
on
that
what?
somehow a white person can't understand our struggle,
I
no
could
way.
care less what they understand. I'm
No
asking
way.
you what.
What do you mean they can't understand our struggle? Let me tell you this. They can understand it, but they're not black people. They don't feel the way black people feel. They don't feel the pain of black struggle. Man, Negro, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But this, it just trigger me when I'm listening to these house people, house people. Even he's on fire. I pray for wind. Dang.
What have they done systematically
He already
to
told you
improve
that.
the opportunities
He
of white
already
folks?
told you
He
that.
did not tell
Oh,
me
yes,
that.
you did tell
He
tell
did
you
not
that.
tell
No,
me
he
that.
You're going
didn't.
to tell me that guys like Tim Wise and Reverend Wallace don't understand
What about
race in
Tim
America?
Wise?
They don't understand race
He
in America?
articulates
They don't-
racism.
So
but
all-
what has he done to
There are no white
systematically
people that understand race in
eliminate it?
America.
There's not
no
a
white
white
people.
person
There's
in
no white
America.
people
One
understand
second.
race in America.
One second.
There's not a white
And
person.
Them going to Eugene.
There's not a white person in America who has ever worked to systematically eliminate the white privilege that they benefit from vis-a-vis your oppression.
You
You're
know,
lying.
you know
Eugene,
190
one
million people in America.
Eugene.
And
So,
you're
so
cool.
He called Dr. Umar Johnson a liar. Listen to him. You're a liar. You didn't even, you can't even understand where he's coming from, but you're just saying you're a liar. Man, you're a liar one.
whoa, we're not going to go there. We're not. I haven't.
Calling me a liar and you're cool.
Well, it's a fact that
Watch
you're
how you
lying.
talk
It's
to
a
me,
fact
or
that
watch
you're
how I
lying.
talk
It's
to
a
you.
fact that you're
I
lying.
understand you.
To
want
say
to
that
fight.
to say that
No, everybody, 1 second. Several things I don't allow. I don't allow the N-word. I don't allow coon. We can talk to one another and disagree, but I do not use racial epithets against
And
black
that's
people.
fine, but he called me a liar.
No.
So the language needs to be watched on both
Racial
sides.
epithets will not be used on this show
And that's fine.
by anybody.
But how we talk to each other needs
you
to
can
be
say
okay.
whatever you want, but no racial epithets will be used on this show about black people to black people. Eugene, your question.
from your paradigm, from your perspective, civil rights act isn't an act of white folk stepping up on behalf of black folk. Current criminal justice reform legislation moving isn't a current act of white folk stepping on behalf of black folk. Folk that funded the civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s isn't an act of white folks stepping up on behalf of black folk. I'm sorry, as an American, because I define myself as an American,
As an
and
American.
African American.
I'm sure you do.
I live in
Look, as an American, this is the kind of people I was talking about. Can you see that? Identify myself as an American. Of course you do. Of course. You can never identify yourself as black African because you really want to be accepted even if you will identify yourself as a European American, you will just deny your root of your ancestor. You purpose say, I'm European American, not black. Long as people they don't say you're African, you're fine with that. Long as people they don't say you're black American, you're cool with that. If people they said you're European American, of course you accept that because that's who you see yourself as American. You're house people. You're nothing but a house people. That haze on people. Man, these kind of people.
Country that moves forward together. And I say that as a Republican. We move forward together. Yes, we have individual struggle. Yes,
United States of America is divided, is obsessed with race. Look at him as a republic. Donald Trump is making republic as white. You as your black ass, it don't count anymore. Trump don't see you as a republic. He see you as you denied to be African. Oh yes, you deny that, but Trump sees you there as a republic. You're nothing to Trump.
we have struggles.
I'm not talking
Yes, we have.
about
Yes, no. Yes, we
We're
have.
talking
We
about
have. We have.
systematic
We have
bias,
systematic. We have
disproportionality.
We have,
Finish
indiscriminate.
it. Finish it. 15 seconds. The answer.
we have systematic struggles, and together as a country, moving forward to defeat those struggles.
Really? So, based on what you said, I want you to give me examples of white folk, not individuals, but systematically.
individuals?
Excuse me.
Why can't they be
excuse me.
individuals?
One second.
I know you can't wait to
1 second
finish.
answer.
But let me
1
finish.
second answer.
Can I finish?
Go.
Okay, I'm going. Okay, you cannot name anything systematically done ever in this country by white people to equal the playing field for black folks.
The Civil Rights Act, Congress
Exactly.
literally sits behind us.
And
The Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act,
Are you
both
aware?
of them.
Are you aware?
Hey, can I?
Both of them.
White
1
people are
second.
proud of you,
Let
son.
me ask Scott Bolden. quick. I think the terminology.
White people, they're proud of you, son. Absolutely. White people, they're clapping for you, son. Oh, that's definitely true. White people, they're definitely clapping for you, son. Bravo. You just done it for yourself, man. 110%. They're proud of you because you know what? You're an American. Damn.
And the narrative being used is a little misleading, not from you, but from this dialogue right here.
Okay.
It's one thing to sympathize with the struggle. It's another one to empathize with the struggle. Very different. When you talk about marriage being a political choice, and that one of the arguments that you made that I tend to agree with is that if you don't marry a black woman, then she can never support and comfort and value your day-to-day struggle as a black man. That being said, I do think that the level of the rhetoric that you use in regard to your Pan-Africanism is difficult for many of us, quote, in the mainstream to get our arms around. But this issue about black men and white women in the civil rights struggle is not a new discussion. My mother was a civil rights activist in Chicago, and she would often complain privately that, one, you can't sleep white and talk black, if you will. And that's always been in the American struggle, African-American struggle with ourselves.
Yes, sir.
The other thing is that we struggle with our own psychology about self-love and otherwise. And if we get our arms around that, that does make sense.
But you would have to say that you know 190 million.
Woo! Can you see somebody that understand Dr. Umar Johnson in that moment? And that's it. The struggle that we have, especially psychological. We have this self-hate for ourselves. Like, I'm going to say this again. When I look in a mirror, do you know what I see? I see a black man. I don't see a white man. But a lot of black people, we struggle to stare in a mirror and go, I'm a black dude, you know? Yeah, God created me like this. Let me be proud. We struggle to say that. Because when you walk outside, all eyes is on you. That's when you put your head down, you're thinking, damn, why I was born like this. It shouldn't be like that. You know? Our children already they're suffering because of the color of the skin. And parents are home. You're struggling to teach your children, son, daughter, know that when you walk outside, there's so many eyes gonna be on you. Not because you're bad, not because you're useless or you don't have knowledge of understand of this society. No, just because of you being black. That's what we need to teach our children. Because look at this house people, they're sitting up next to Dr. Umar Johnson. The man Eugene and the other woman. and Roland. They don't understand. They all trying to only the other black man in the middle that spoke with sense because he understand where Dr. Umar Johnson is coming. You need to understand that you have to marry a black woman because being a black woman is not easy. It's not easy. So I support Dr. Umar Johnson where he's coming from. It's just these house people, majority of them, they don't understand. They will never support people like Dr. Umar Johnson. Negro, please.
People.
But you're being too.
One second.
You would have to
Answer
claim
one
that.
Individuals
second.
don't
Answer the
matter.
question.
You'd have to claim
No,
that.
go ahead and respond. Go ahead.
And I agree with my brother's
Scott.
comments. Brother Scott, he brought up the Civil Rights Bill. But what he did not talk about in relation to the Civil Rights Bill is there were two words included in that bill that ultimately served to take away from black people what that bill was intended to deliver. They added gender and they added sexual orientation. And as a result of that, white women and homosexuals have been able to strip black America from the intended gains of the Civil Rights Act. So there was still racism in that bill if you will study that history.
So Umar, your question was, has anyone black ever systematically done,
No.
has anyone white ever systematically
Not
done anything?
individuals, systematically.
Systematically.
White
Yeah.
America.
So
There's
LBJ
Wait.
would be the answer for that
No, I want
because
you to
that's
get-
the government.
No, I don't think you
That's
heard
a
the question.
systematic move.
No, you didn't hear the question.
I
What
heard
has
it
no,
just
you
fine.
did not.
No, you
Yeah, I
didn't.
did. Yeah, I
You're
did.
so quick to defend white
Yeah,
folks that you're not listening.
No, I'm not trying to
I
defend
only
white
have
folks.
45 seconds.
You didn't understand the question. It's true. You're so fast just to defend white folks because you know what? You love white people more than they love you. That's the problem with us black people. I get sick of tired of listening people like this.
So restate the question and give an answer. I got
Okay.
45
All right,
seconds.
let's get an answer.
The question was,
Mm-hmm.
what has white America done?
Right?
Not individuals. Systematically,
Not
can I?
individuals.
You
Why
won't
not
even let me
individuals?
finish.
Yeah, because
You're that in love with
Lord.
white folks, you
Put
won't
a
even let me
fine
finish.
point on everything.
Finish.
Got left
Literally
3 times.
20
Got
seconds.
left 3 times.
There is no bigger
Go.
system than the
20
US.
seconds, I'll finish.
The
Go.
US
And in 20
government is
seconds, I would
fixed.
say that the panel that you have here, who are extremely intelligent, do not represent the everyday black man and woman struggles. And then because of that, they can
And
articulate.
you represent 43 million people in the
folks.
Yes,
country.
he does.
I appreciate it. Thanks so
I don't
much.
think you represent
You know, follow that Dr. Umar Johnson speaking in the panel with Holland. Black people that we think like this is a heartbroken because I can see Eugene and the other lady, they don't understand Dr. Umar Johnson. And I think they will never understand Dr. Umar Johnson. And people like that, they get discrimination. In the United States of America, they get this discrimination a lot. But do you know what? They were trying to hide it to make themselves feel better. They're gonna try and accept hate from other race, but from their own people, they'll post that hatred. That's what they're doing to Dr. Umar Johnson. The sad part is this is why we do as people, we're like this. We are own worst enemy. Man, I just wanted to speak about this. I wanted you to see how hard it is to try to help our people. How hard it is to speak the truth, to try to point good things to us black people, to show black people the way. It never been easy. It never. Look at this. Moses did that 40 years in the wilderness, just going in a circle with his people to the promised land. It was not even far because of the lack of discipline, because of the self-hate that we have for ourselves. Moses struggled with his people. Can you see? 40 years. They just go in circle and circle in the wilderness. Moses didn't even enter. Somebody that took them out from slavery. He didn't even enter the promised land because do you know what? They struggled, the hardship, the craziness that he went through. That's why you can see people like Dr. Umar Johnson living with us right now and he's speaking the truth. Do you know how hard it is for him? We're laughing at him about his school that he's building. He's talking about we need to be independent from what system. We need to have our own school. We need to have our own bank. We need to do all of this he's talking about. But because we don't like ourselves, we always like support from white people. That's the problem. I'm not saying white people, they are bad people. No, I'm saying we are the bad people ourselves. black people, we are the bad people ourselves. Because white people, they will sit down to build things for themselves. They will. They don't need black people approval so they can do something. It just us black people, we like to try to get approval to white people. We want to go through white people like a goddamn baby to get the approval. We want to be accepted. Even if you know when you're sitting around white people, you're just out of place. But you want to be accepted. You will struggle with that pain just to be accepted. But white people, they will never do that. Never. Never, ever, ever they'll do that. Dr. Umar Johnson made a lot of good points right there. What he said. White people, they won't help. Just if you follow Dr. Umar Johnson, he know the system is created against black people. He's talking about, have you seen white people? Have you seen white people that go and broke the system so it can benefit all of us, white and black, the same equal? Never. Because they know the system is working for them, but not to black people. What do you think you get all these black people that getting killed a lot in America? By the police, getting beaten up, getting stopped in the street when they're walking by, getting searched when they're driving car. They get stopped by the police more than anyone in that country. And you have black people like the woman and Eugene, they speaking like you have other white people that they do help. No, niggas, they don't. The system may benefit them. Or who do you? They're not gonna help you. Why? Because you feel like they don't have sympathy. No, when it comes to you, to break the system is difficult. Look what Trump is adding up, man. Just look at how Trump is working, and you tell me if I'm wrong. So I would like y'all to like, subscribe. You know what? We're gonna keep playing more Dr. Umar Johnson. I'll catch you guys to the next video. Concern all of us black people. Peace. Oh.